All right, so we've got 3 examples for this video working on the area of parallelograms and triangles. So our first example here, we got kind of this funny looking triangle. So first of all, let's just focus on it is a triangle. So the area formula is 1/2 base times height. So we need to know the base and the height in order to find the area. So the base of the triangle is this little segment down here. So we know that the base is 6. Now you can see that what was drawn in for us, see from the top of the triangle down to kind of where the base would be if we extended it, that is going to be our height right there. The height is not the 10. The 10 is an extra piece of information that we don't need because the height has to go from the top of the triangle. Let's maybe make a note of that. It goes from the top of the triangle, but it will always form a right angle with the base. So we've got to figure out how to go from the top of the triangle straight down so you're forming a right angle with the base. So the height makes a right angle. Make sure you guys are writing this in with me. With the base. All right, so now that we know that this is the height of the triangle, very important that 8 is our h, and so we can go ahead and find the area. Area is equal to 1/2 times the base, which is 6, times the height, which is 8. And then if we go ahead and multiply that all out, we are going to get 24. And then they didn't provide a unit, so we'll go ahead and write units squared because it's area. All right, example 4, we have a parallelogram. Parallelogram area is equal to, remember that's the one where you can take the triangle off, move it to the other side, and forming a rectangle, so it's just base times height. So if we know the base and we know the height, we can do this. So I can see the base right here, there's that 20. That's going to be the base of our parallelogram. The height is from the top of the parallelogram forming a right angle with the base. So that is going to be 8, and so that's pretty straightforward. Area is equal to base times height. 20 times 8 is 160 units squared. All right, so this last example is going to be not as straightforward as the last one. So let's take a look at what's happening here. First of all, it's a triangle. So the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So we have to figure out the base and the height, and then we can find the area. So if we look at the picture, we've got this 12 that is for this right here. So the base is 12. Now the height is going to go from the top of the triangle, forming a 90-degree angle with the base. So that's going to be our height, and you can see that we don't know what that is. So let's go ahead and pull out that little triangle there. It looks something like this, because this is what we have to deal with. This is our height. We know that this is 60 degrees. 60 is a special number for angles and triangles, because it's a special right triangle. And this is 10. So we have to find the height. Let's go ahead and label our 30, 60, 90. This is the 30 over here. 30, 60, 90 triangle. So if you remember, across from the 30 goes your x. The hypotenuse is 2x. And across from the 60 is x root 3. So if we can figure out x, we're going to be able to get the side that we need. So again, remember when we would put an equal sign between our label and the side they gave us, so we know that 10 is equal to 2x. Then you can solve for x by dividing both sides by 2. So we're getting x is equal to 5. So because we want the height right here, we're going to go ahead and plug the 5 in for that x. So that side of our triangle is 5 root 3. So our height, even though it looks a little weird, is 5 times the square root of 3. All right, so finding the area, it's 1/2 times the base is 12, and our height is 5 square root of 3. Now when we multiply this, let's go ahead and, maybe multiply the 1/2 times the 12 first. That's going to give us 6 times 5 square root of 3. And then this multiplication, remember this is a square root of 3 and it can only be multiplied with another square root. So that means we can multiply the 6 and the 5 because they're both out of the square root. And we're going to get 6 times 5 is 30. And then that square root of 3 stays. If you have a radical, in a problem like this, let's go ahead and leave the radical. I don't want you to multiply it out to give me a decimal answer. This is a more exact answer because the square root of 3, this is the full value of square root of 3. If you typed it into your calculator, you'd have to round your answer and it would not be exact. So basically we're avoiding rounded answers right now. So that's our area, 30 square root of 3, but again, they didn't give us a unit, so we will write in units squared. And there's that one.